In 2018, Ari Aster broke the horror genre with a most jacked up family drama that was also really terrifying. With his new entry of Midsommar, will this new take on grief and relationships just keep you on the edge of your seat, or is it going to send you to sleep? Now, right off the bat, I'm going to be a little bit vague in some of this because I don't want to venture into spoiler territory and ruin it. The premise of the movie is that a group of friends travel to Sweden to take part in their midsummer festival celebration. And once they get there, they just encounter some weirdness. Two of the group are a couple, and that relationship brings just some special challenges to the trip. First off, don't compare Midsommar with Hereditary. I mean, yes, it may share some similarities in theme and in visuals, but it is a different type of horror film. And so if you go in thinking Hereditary, you're going to walk out of Midsommar very disappointed. The acting in this is spectacular. I mean, Florence Pugh is the star of the film, and she plays Danny, and she is dealing with a whole bunch of just emotional issues before and during their trip. She's really awesome, especially in the way that she conveys her emotions. I mean, she does it just so appropriately that I feel what she's feeling. Jack Reynor plays Christian, Danny's boyfriend, and he's a seemingly nice guy, but he's not always the brightest bulb. Or maybe he's just really more preoccupied with his own drives. Either way, though, he is great to watch, and just like Pugh, he's very emotive in his performance, and he just sucks me in with what he's doing. I mean, I can't help but just focus into his eyes and really begin to feel what he's feeling. Will Poulter plays a smaller role in this, but he does a really good job of bringing some comedy and foolishness, which in that instance really keeps us off balance because of what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're experiencing, and then to have some of this dialogue and this acting, it throws a wrench into everything and really keeps us on our toes. The visuals are outstanding. I mean, Ari Aster has done some perfectly centered shots and then some really long, wide shots as well. What that does is it just shows us the scale of everything and just brings us into the grandeur and really immerses us into what we're seeing and into his world that he's created for us. The soundtrack is wonderfully off-putting too. I mean, you have these happy songs and happy feeling tunes that are playing over scenes and visuals that are not necessarily very happy. But then you also have some just discordant tunes or music, I guess, notes that really keep us off kilter. I mean, it's so good at what he does, and he tweaks some notes and really just keeps us on edge of our seat and really just, I mean, it plays with your head, it plays with your ears, and you're like, oh, something's not right here, and it definitely sets that tone. I mean, it even creates like this sense of dread where we're not quite certain what's going to happen, but we're pretty sure it's not going to be pleasant. Some parts of the story are painfully predictable and obvious, which leads me to question if I'm tracking correctly or if I can trust what I'm seeing. The themes of family and grief and relationships in this are done really, really well. Aster has a really deep story that he's telling, and he reinforces it with some amazing imagery. Yes, you are going to draw similarities to The Wicker Man. I mean, even from the trailer, there's no way around it. But Midsommar is so much more deep in its story, and the way that it focuses on relationships, just so much better. As the shots slowly zoom or pan, you are going to begin to feel the time. And I get the sense that even though what I'm seeing is immersive, trimming it just a little bit here and there isn't going to affect the overall story or what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling. I love how Aster provides a stark contrast between the darkness of the story and his use of the color white and all of the bright light in all of the scenes. In the trailer, it even talks about like how, what time is it? It's 9 p.m. What, the sun's still out. And I just love that because it never really gets super dark. And so you have just that huge contrast between darkness of story and whiteness and brightness of light. The special effects were used sparingly, but effectively in order to draw us in and unsettle us, which it did. Throughout the entire thing, we have a feeling that something is not quite right, and that we expect something terrible to happen. And even with that, with all that expectation, knowing that something is, the story and the film still manages to be shocking in ways. So if you enjoy layered stories that cause you to think and examine things, then I think you can really get a lot of enjoyment from this messed up vacation movie. I don't think Midsommar is breaking the horror genre like Hereditary did, but the story is definitely something to absorb. There is extreme sex, nudity, violence, and profanity. I give Midsommar 4 out of 5 couches. So what is the best place to go for a summer vacation? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for catching with me.